Good morning, gang. Welcome back to Our Wyoming Life. My name's Mike, and today we have a full day ahead of us, and for a couple reasons. Number one, we are actually going to be starting haying again. No, it's not our second cutting, but we're actually helping out a neighbor who his baler broke. And so we're going to go up and bale about 20 acres, maybe 25 acres for him today and get that done and out of the way. Also, if you see behind me here, these are boxes of beef and pork. That's right, we've got beef and pork back on the website. Steaks, roasts, hamburgers, patties, sausage, all kinds of crazy stuff. So as you head on over to the website, ourwyominglife.com, they are all back in stock. Erin is working on updating inventories so we can get everything back up on the website for you guys. One of the hardest parts that we have is actually regulating inventory. So keeping track of what's going on, how much is selling is something we're still kind of tweaking here and there, but I am happy to announce that steaks and all that kind of good stuff are back in stock. So I've got Carrie out here to help me. She's actually over in the farm store stocking right now, and we are going to get all this stuff put away so that we can get it out to you guys. Carrie's back from stocking the farm store and clearing out some freezers. We've got almost 300 square feet of freezer space here in the garage and in the shop that we're going to end up filling up with everything. Carrie, what's the biggest challenge of putting all this stuff away?
Finding space.
Finding space to put it. Yeah, even with 300 square feet, this is a lot of beef and pork, and that's why we rely on you guys to move it on out of here. But this first day of being able to just jam stuff everywhere, where we can fit it, where it can go, sometimes gets a little confusing. We try to keep it as organized as possible, but you know what, I'll tell you what, it takes a few extra minutes to pack orders our first couple weeks here, but I know that you guys are going to flood us with orders. We're going to end up clearing out a lot of these freezers really quick. What's the best-selling thing on the website, you think?
Steaks.
Steaks. Did we get, we've got sirloin, ribeye, and T-bone steaks that we're going to be putting away. A lot of the steaks end up in these upright freezers. This one actually says website. This one says farm store, so we know where we can sell out of for each, whether it's the on-site farm store or it's the website sales. So we're going to do a little bit of a time lapse here. It's probably the easiest way to do this so we can actually get some of this done. Carrie's organizing a couple freezers for us so that we can actually maybe have this somewhat organized.
Yep.
We'll see. And where do you want to start?
Pork chops.
Pork chops. Here we go. Now this is our bratwurst. Carrie, do you have a favorite way to cook your bratwurst? Everybody always asks me, do you cook it in beer?
No, because it dries these out. These aren't sealed casing. So
oh, okay.
You thaw them and grill them. I also like to take these out of the casing and use it as loose sausage with scrambled eggs.
Very nice.
Great breakfast burritos that way.
Very good idea. Very good idea. Lots of uses for the bratwurst. Okay, so it's kind of a mad rush here. It's already like 80 degrees, so we're trying to get stuff in freezers as fast as possible without sweating our butts off, which I'm already doing. On the back of the Gator here, this is all grind, all hamburger, and ground chuck. So I'm taking this over to the shop where hopefully I can find enough freezers to be able to stash all this stuff to keep it from freezing. I've got a few freezers to work with here. And yeah, see what we can do. The day of unpacking is rarely ever pretty, but we do end up going back through, reorganizing things as we go and as things sell. So the more stuff that sells, the better off our life is. Box broke. Dog bones. All right, so we got everything in over here that we can. Still got 4 boxes of patties that we usually keep over in the garage for storage. So I'm gonna take those back over and make sure these aren't over here by mistake. They might end up coming right back over, we'll find out. I've got 4 boxes of hamburger patties. Are they in here? Or I do have room to put them over there if I need to, as long as we don't have a whole bunch more hamburger. I mean, I could just leave them in the boxes too and shove them in a freezer over there.
That'd be a good idea.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, more stuff. Back over to the shop. So this stuff we really just don't have room for, so we're actually just gonna stack it in the boxes if we can, inside this freezer. And I have a little extra box of liver. Yum, yum, yum. Little onions, you'd be good to go. Lots of back and forth in this project. Somebody's gonna ask where Jeff is at. Well, he's actually doing the tour this morning so that we can get all of our meat done. There's the tour right up there. Well, lucky folks, we get to listen to Jeff for a change rather than listening to me on the tour. So, special treat.
Thank you.
Welcome. Look at the size of these things. 2-pound rib steak. How?
Here.
Big cows. You want it?
Yeah.
You got it. It's huge. You gonna be able to finish that whole thing? Jeff thinks he can finish 1.5 pound rib steak in 3 days.
There's that in one city.
You think so?
Yes, I know so.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go take a break. We recycle our boxes, which is very, very eco-friendly of Jeff. And here we go. Check this out. This is all steaks, tenderloins. Sorry. Over here. Roasts, ribs, all that good stuff. Pork chops, bratwurst, shoulder roasts. Jeff, Carrie, they're not for sale. More roasts, heart, liver. sausage, bacon, sausage, ham steak, along with all of the grind, the hamburger, the chuck roast, or the ground chuck, and everything else that we've done today. So I'm gonna help these guys tear down boxes, and we'll come back in just a little bit where we are gonna get back to baling, a little bit of haying retro action. And there it is, all put away for winter, our John Deere 568 baler. Stashed back here, which is where we were gonna keep it. But now we gotta get it back out. And so, like Jeff said, he's not too excited about baling again. So I'm gonna actually do the baling. Jeff is still gathering hay. And our hope is to be able to help Butch out and get this stuff put up for him, because that's what neighbors do. All right, so we've got a little bit of stuff to move, and we're gonna get in here with the skid steer and kind of figure out how to get this out of here. We got it out. That's a start. We're going to hook back up to the 4055s, head up to Butch's field, see what we're baling.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. This thing. This is for lights and whatever else. Okay. I'll turn it on to make sure everything's working. Oh, look at that handy glove.
Yeah, it worked well.
Worked really well. Oh, jeez. Look like Spider-Man after the big fight. Okay. Gang, we are heading up the road, or well, down the highway, down to Butch's house, one of our neighbors. And like I said, his baler, he's got a little 4-foot baler that apparently failed on him here yesterday, and he's got a bunch of hay down, been down for a few days. So we're gonna head up and get it baled for him. It's just a neighborly thing to do. I know he would do the exact same for me if I asked. In fact, we had a neighbor of ours that came over and baled a whole bunch of square bales for us. So just kind of returning the favor kind of thing. Even though it is hot in this tractor, the air conditioning still not figured out. It's about almost 80 degrees outside now, and just not very much fun to do, but we want to get this done for Butch. I do know that he replanted this field this year. I don't know if you remember earlier on, I mentioned that we had some of his steers that were on us, and that's because he replanted one of his grazing pastures and couldn't graze any cattle on it. So he kicked his steers onto us for a couple months, and we took care of them. I think it was 3 steers and 3 heifers, if I remember right. So we took care of those for him, and now that this field has come back in, I'm sure he's going to be grazing it once we get these bales put up for him. We're coming up on it now, and it's kind of hard to see, but there are the windrows. They're not huge windrows, but it did look like a pretty good field, pretty good stand of grass and stuff. So we're going to swing in and get to baling up this little 25 acres or whatever it is. Hopefully it won't take too long, and we don't have any problems along the way. So shouldn't say that. I'll jinx myself. And there it is. That's the field we're going to be tackling today. We're going to try and see what we can do, and how much of this we can pick up, how many bales we can make. Really, I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as we go. So this is a barley, oat, some alfalfa in here, and right here is the bale that Butch managed to make before his baler broke. Like I said, his baler's a little 4-foot baler. Makes a little bit lighter bales than ours does, a little bit smaller bales, but definitely useful for what Butch needs them for. I think he's just planning on selling these bales, so whatever we end up with is going to be good for him. Honestly, like, we're not getting a whole lot. We're up to a 34-inch bale. We've been going around here for quite a while, so we'll just keep on rolling around this field and hopefully make as many bales as we can. We'll give you a report here at the end and take a look at how the bales look and all that kind of good stuff. But for me, it's just driving around in circles. Once again, it's like haying all over again. Okay, so I've ran into a slight problem here with this stuff, and this is very interesting because I've never actually had this happen before, but the windrows aren't thick enough for me to really kind of make a bale. It's hard because I think we're just rolling stuff around in here, and it's just getting destroyed while it's in here. When I'm in the thicker stuff, it seems to work pretty good, but I'm just destroying a bale is what I'm doing. It's rolling around in there. It's just turning into basically dust, by my best guess anyway. So what I'm going to do is actually turn this corner, and then I'm going to see if I can get up to a 45-inch bale. 15 inches smaller than what I want to do for a bale, but I think that is probably my best bet just because I want to get these bales out of here. I don't want them to be rolling around in here for crazy, for a long amount of time and having all kinds of problems. So we're at 44.5. I went around this field twice already. Okay, we just kicked out a bale. We're gonna take a look and see what's going on here. I think a lot of this stuff is so dry. Look at this. It's so dry. It's just, I think it's over dried. It's too dry probably at this point. There's absolutely no moisture in there. It's super, super slick. It's just flipping right off of the bale. Basically, we made this little guy, but I think that's about all we're going to be able to do is kind of smaller bales to be able to, I also baled a bag, to be able to do this. We're just kind of, we're in damage control mode now, right? You don't want to let this stuff go to waste. It'll be decent straw. The cows will probably eat it, although it's really, really light and really, really fluffy. So as soon as you lay it out, if there's any breeze, it's going to try to blow away. We're all wrapped up. I've got one bale here in the baler I'm going to go ahead and kick out. Oh my gosh. Okay, So the last bale is made. As you can see, we didn't make a whole lot of bales. We actually only got 10 bales off of this entire field, which doesn't seem to be very good. Doesn't help us out too much. But it does clean up Butch's field, gets him a few extra bales, and I don't need to listen to music anymore. And we'll call that good. So helping out a neighbor, like Jeff said, you know, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So we are going to now take this tractor back home and go down and see what Jeff's doing as we wrap things up for the day. So, whew, look at all that stuff coming off there. That's just wonderful. There we go, a little bit of AC. Man, it was hot in that tractor. So we've got our 10 bales from Butch's field. I ended up baling them at 48 inches a piece because he's got a 4-foot baler, so I figured, you know what the heck, we'll do them 48 inches. So we ended up with those 10 bales. You know, it is what it is. I think it got a little dry and started to come apart, and it's obviously dusting up, which happens with the, you know, when stuff gets dry. So not much we can really do about that, but at least we got it done. Okay, now we're heading down. We're going to check on Jeff and see what he's up to. Now I think he's back here gathering bales clear back on what we consider used to be the wheat field, an old wheat field that was on the ranch. We combined that with a couple other fields, so now it's about a 150-acre hay field. I think that's the one he's working on, or he could be on the 80-acre hay field that's way back. So either way, we've got a little bit of a drive to get to him. We'll see what he's up to as we get ready to wrap things up for the day, kick you guys loose. We've got a lot done. Lots of meat now in the farm store and online. So make sure you go to OurWyomingLife.com and get your orders in for your Labor Day beef, because you're going to want to order it now because it's not going to last very long. So make sure you get your orders in as quick as you can. There's one of our hay fields that's actually been cleaned off already. Jeff has been stacking like crazy in the hay yard, and he has been using the skid steer along with a spear that we found for it. So that's been helping out quite a bit. Down here in this field, he's using our other tractor, the 6410, to just had a big old grasshopper at the windshield, to get this cleaned up and gathered up so we can start running down here with the Mac to pick it up as well. Hey Jeff, you got a copy? Are you in the big 150-acre field? Okie doke. We're searching for Jeff out here, and I think we just found him. He's actually right down there. Jeff is actually gathering up the bales into 14 bale piles. That's exactly what we can haul on the Mac once we start getting them out of this field, which will probably happen tomorrow. We'll get done stacking up this field or gathering this field, and then we've got another 80 acres to do, and then it's all done. It's all back home, and maybe we'll take a break, but probably not. Lots still on the way. We've got a big project still in the books that we have to get done this summer for the pigs. We're building a new pig area. That is on the way, and hopefully in the very near future. Also, we're going to be saying goodbye to Jeff before too long as he heads back to California in the fall. So lots of good stuff on the way. So make sure you subscribe, follow along as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary right here on Our Wyoming Life.